Paid for my brother's wedding, then found out I wasn't even on the guest list. When I confronted him, he rolled his eyes and said, "You? At my wedding? You just embarrass me like always." So I called one vendor. Then another. By sunset, the venue was empty, the food never arrived, and guests were posting photos of an empty dance floor. My name's Mark. I'm 32, and until recently, I thought I knew what family meant. I thought being the eldest came with certain unspoken duties: support, protection, sacrifice. I believed that if you gave enough, people would eventually see your value. Turns out, I was wrong. It started last spring when my younger brother, Kyle, got engaged. He's 27, charismatic, loud, the kind of guy who turns every sentence into a punchline. He's always been mom's favorite and dad's mini-me, the golden child. Meanwhile, I've been the responsible one, the one who stayed close to home, paid off my student loans, helped my parents with their mortgage when dad got laid off. Quietly dependable, never flashy, rarely thanked. When Kyle got engaged to his college sweetheart, Lauren, I was genuinely happy for him. I congratulated him, gave him a bear hug, even offered to take him out for drinks to celebrate. We'd grown a bit distant in recent years, mostly because he seemed to think adulting was optional, but I still remembered teaching him how to ride a bike, sneaking him snacks after bedtime, covering for him when he crashed dad's car in high school. Family is family, right? 2 weeks after the engagement, Mom called me, sounding frantic. "Mark, honey, Kay needs help. The wedding's going to be expensive, and Lauren's parents are already stretched thin." I didn't even hesitate. I had some money saved up, I was planning to buy a new car, but I figured I could wait. "How much are we talking?" I asked. That's how I ended up wiring over $12,000 to a joint account my mom had set up for the wedding expenses. It was supposed to cover catering, the venue deposit, and the DJ. She promised they'd invite me to the planning meetings so I could stay in the loop. That never happened. A month passed, then another. Every time I asked about the wedding, the date kept shifting. "We're still finalizing things," Lauren would say with a tight smile. You know how vendors are. Eventually, Kyle sent a group text saying the date, July 14th. "We can't wait to celebrate with you all." Except I never got an invitation. Everyone else in the family did, cousins, second cousins, even my aunt's new boyfriend, but me, nothing. At first, I thought it was a mistake. I waited, checked the mail every day. I even texted Kyle, "Hey man, I think my invite got lost in the mail." No response. 2 days later, I got a call from our cousin Jenna. "Mark, are you not coming to the wedding?" she asked, her voice laced with hesitation. "I wasn't invited," I said, trying to keep my voice light. She paused. "Kyle told us you were too busy with work." That was a lie. I hadn't mentioned work to anyone. I was already clearing my schedule, just in case. Something felt off, so I drove to my parents' house that weekend. I waited until Sunday morning, when Kyle was supposed to stop by to pick up some old childhood photos for the wedding slideshow. Mom opened the door, and the look on her face when she saw me said everything. "Oh, Mark, you should have called." "Thought I'd surprise you," I said. "Is Kyle here?" Before she could stop me, Kyle walked into the room, holding a shoebox of pictures. He looked up and groaned, like I was a mess he forgot to clean up. "I was wondering when you'd show up," he said. "Am I not invited to your wedding?" I asked, eyes locked on him. He didn't even flinch, just rolled his eyes and muttered, "You at my wedding? You just embarrass me like always." Embarrass him? I stood there, stunned. I paid for the damn thing, and he says I embarrass him? What does that even mean? I asked. He smirked. "You're just so stiff. You'd make everyone uncomfortable." Lauren agrees, "We want the day to be fun, drama-free." I turned to Mom. She wouldn't meet my eyes. "Kyle made the call, honey. It's his day, don't ruin it." Dad stepped in from the kitchen with a mug of coffee and said nothing, just nodded like this was all normal. My blood ran cold. I wanted to scream, to punch a hole through the wall. Instead, I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was the only thing keeping me from breaking down. "Right," I said. "Don't want to make things uncomfortable." I left without another word, got in my car, and drove home in silence. Every mile stretched like a rubber band, ready to snap. I sat in my apartment, staring at the wedding text on my phone, scrolling through family group chats where everyone was gushing about the decor, the location, the food tasting. Lauren posted on Instagram, "Food I paid for." And that's when something shifted in me. I opened my laptop and pulled up the bank transfer receipts. Every vendor I helped pay for had my name on the agreement, every single one. I had the contracts, the emails, even some of the invoices forwarded from Mom's account when she forgot to change the billing address. It hit me all at once. I wasn't just cut out, I was used like a walking wallet, forgotten the moment they cashed the check. And they expected me to just sit back and take it. I didn't sleep that night. My mind was racing, but not with sadness anymore. No, I was planning. The venue was the first call, then the caterer, then the DJ. Each one was polite at first, until I mentioned the name on the contract, mine. When I asked about cancellation policies and refund timelines, things got very, very quiet. By the time I reached out to the photography team, my hands were steady, cold, like I was performing surgery. I didn't cancel anything just yet. I wanted to see how far they'd go, how much they'd flaunt my generosity without acknowledging it. 3 days before the wedding, I got a text from Lauren. It was the first time she'd ever messaged me directly. "Hey Mark, Kyle said you might be coming after all. We just wanted to check for seating purposes." Seating purposes? Not an apology, not an explanation. That's when I knew they weren't sorry, they just wanted to keep using me until the last table was cleared. I stared at that message, thumbs hovering over the keyboard. I didn't respond to Lauren's message, not with words, anyway. Instead, I opened a folder I'd quietly compiled over the past 72 hours, contracts, bank transfers, email confirmations, all neatly labeled with names, amounts, and cancellation clauses. My lawyer friend, Natalie, had helped me draft a formal notice, as the financial party of record for the following services. You get the idea. But I didn't send it yet. I was waiting, watching, measuring just how deep their entitlement ran. And they didn't disappoint. The day before the wedding, my phone buzzed with a flood of Instagram stories, Lauren twirling in her dress at the final fitting, Kyle doing shots with the groomsman, Mom smiling beside a champagne tower. They even posted a countdown, 24 hours until forever. They had no idea the caterer had already emailed me confirming the refund, minus a small cancellation fee. The DJ was even more polite, saying he'd had a feeling something weird was going on when Kyle tried to change the name on the booking and couldn't. The venue? Oh, they were the best, saying they dealt with this kind of thing before and understood completely, full refund, in writing, confirmation pending. Then came the rehearsal dinner. I wasn't invited, obviously, but my cousin Jenna, bless her, sent me a blurry video from under the table. Kyle stood up at the head of a long, candlelit dinner and toasted everyone. Thanks to all of you who made this happen, he said, raising his glass. This wedding is going to be unforgettable, especially since we kept it. You know, drama-free. Laughter. Then Lauren chimed in, no negativity, just love, family, and friends. They clinked glasses. My mom leaned into the camera's edge and smiled like she was in a Hallmark movie.